Hello friend, welcome to Tanya's Biology. Today I will discuss about reflex action and reflex arc. We all know that it is a part of neural control and coordination. Okay, now I will start. What is reflex action? If we discuss about reflex action, we show that it is a type of reaction or it is a type of response. Reflex action is a sudden and involuntary response to stimuli. It is not related with brain, it is related with the spinal cord, not with the brain but with the spinal cord. Okay. Reflex action is a spontaneous, automatic, uncontrolled response to certain stimuli. Okay, it is a very short-lived process because after a fraction of second it back to its normal position. So that means it is a very short-lived response because when we get pricked, our hands move away, but after the moving away, it back to its original position. It's all about the reflex action. This reflex action is related to the spinal cord, not with the brain, because brain don't have so much time to relate all these things. Okay, what is that? That means if I told you the kind of responses that we have do in our regular life, like when somebody unknowingly pricked by something, suddenly he or she move away from the stimuli. Moves away from that stimuli. We are not thinking, don't have so much time to think that it might be infected, but blood will come out, hands, we just carry forward our hand, we just move our hand with a jerk. This is all about the reflex action. We don't have to think, we don't have time to think what we need to do, what will be the consequences. That's not the phenomenon. That is not about reflex action. Reflex action is a sudden response, a fraction of second. When we just pricked by something, we just show our hand or we jerk our hand and moves away from the stimuli. We just move away our hand from that stimuli. This is about the reflex action. If the action go to the brain, then brain will decide what to do and it need more time to decide. But we don't have that much time in our hand. We need to take a fast action. We need to take a fast decision. This decision maker is the spinal cord. The another part of CNS, central nervous system, is the spinal cord. Yes, spinal cord is the main part of reflex action. It's a short-lived response. As I told you, it's a very short-lived response. Reflex action is a type of process or is a protocol. It follow a pathway. How it infected or how it shows how it infected by the stimuli, what will happen then, and how they show the fast result. It is a thoroughly process. Okay. What is the process? Firstly, the receptor. The receptor is the place, or receptor is a stimuli that receives information and generate impulses. What kind of information? That we are pricked. Is a type of response or type of information that the hand is generated to the spinal cord. How is generated? Through the sensory nerve, through the interneuron and motor nerve. All these things are involved in this process. How? After receiving the information from that particular stimuli, sensory nerves carry the information from the receptor to the interneuron. I will show you a picture through which you can understand all the phenomena. Firstly, you need to write that. What is that? The sensory nerves carry the information from the receptor to the interneuron in the spinal cord. Interneuron is present in the spinal cord. You should remember that interneuron is present in the spinal cord. What is the function of the interneuron? Interneuron processes the information and generate responses. Interneuron processes the information and generate responses. What kind of responses? If you collect the memory of the structure of an neuron, you see that neuron has several parts. One is dendrite, then axon, then axon terminal. There is the function which is related to the interneuron. I will discuss you later. What is motor nerve? What is motor nerve? It carries the information. It carries the information from the spinal cord to the effector organ. From the spinal cord. That means sensory nerves involved to carry the information from the receptor to the spinal cord. Then the information is carried forward through the motor nerve. Through the motor nerve. Okay. After that comes the effector organ, which receive the information from the effector neuron and show the appropriate responses. And this phenomena, the whole phenomena need a fraction of second, not a 1 second, it is a fraction of second it needed to complete the all over function. That means reflex action is related to sensory nerve, interneuron, motor nerve and effector organ. These are the organ or these are the portion where sensory reflex actions are accomplish their function. These are the involvement area. Okay. If you see the diagram, you can understand it better. What's that? You can see this. There is a stimulus. There is a stimulus. Okay. The stimulus get the information through the receptor, it pass on to the sensory neuron. I will discuss about the neuron. This neuron is a specialized neuron. This neuron is not like the normal neuron, is a special neuron. What kind of neuron it is? I will discuss you. After the sensory neuron, it carries the information through the interneuron. This portion is the interneuron portion. Okay. This interneuron is present in the spinal cord. This interneuron is present in the spinal cord. From the spinal cord, the information is carried forward through the motor neuron. And this nerve is known as motor nerve. Okay, this portion is known as motor nerve. After the responses after the stimuli, the responses comes forward through the motor nerve, then the effector organ, and the responses will occur. Okay, understand? That means after the stimulus, through the sensory nerves, the information is carried forward to the spinal cord, specifically the interneuron. From the interneuron, the message will carry forward through the motor nerve and the responses will occur. Okay. Okay. That means there is a special neuron that I will talking about, the sensory neuron. What is the special character? It is not bipolar or multipolar. It is pseudo-multipolar neuron. We all know that neuron are of two types. One is bipolar, another one is multipolar. Another one is multipolar. But this neuron is pseudo-multipolar neuron. What is the difference? What is the difference? If you see the neuron, it looks like in case of a bipolar neuron is look like this. This one pole and another pole. But in case of pseudo multipolar, that means in this case, how it looks like, there is one cell body, okay, but having two axon. That means one cell body having two axon. This is all about the pseudo-multipolar neuron. This neuron, okay, understand what is the difference between bipolar neuron and pseudo-multipolar neuron? In case of bipolar neuron, they have different sides, but in case of pseudo-multipolar neuron, on one cell body having two axon. Okay. If you see the picture, you will understand it better. You will understand it better. Why? Now you can understand it. What is this? After receptor, there is a special type of neuron that is known as pseudo multipolar neuron that receive the information from the receptor. After receiving it, they pass it to the interneuron. What happened in interneuron process the information. Interneuron process the information and generate the responses. After that, motor nerve carry forward the information and affected organ shows its effect and appropriate responses. Okay. Now tell me, if the neuron are present in CNS and PNS, the name of the neuron are same or it will be different? No, they are different in names. What is the difference? If I told you that these all are, let me draw it, they have different name. How? If I draw it, you can see that differences. Okay. There are some cell body linearly present and having axon. If this structure is present, that means accumulation of cell body of neuron. Please mind it, accumulation of cell body of neuron is present when in the CNS, when in the central nervous system, is known as nuclei. Okay, but when it present in the PNS, that means peripheral nervous system, as you show in the diagram, is a part of peripheral nervous system. It is known as ganglia. Because this portion is related to peripheral nervous system. When it comes to the spinal cord, it related with the CNS, that means central nervous system. Okay. That means when the bulk of cell body is present in the CNS or central nervous system, it known as nuclei. When it is present in the PNS or peripheral nervous system, it known as ganglia or ganglion. They are singular and plural form. Okay. Now tell me, what about the axon? How it known to be? That means they also have different name. As their presence, as the location. If they present in the CNS, they are known as track. Okay, they are known as track, T-R-A-C-K. When they are present in the PNS, when they are present in the peripheral nervous system or PNS, they are known as fiber. Okay, there is no space to write, there is a fiber. Okay, that means the present, where it located, according to the location the name was given. If the nuclei or if the cell body of a neuron is present in a CNS, is known as nuclei. If they present in the PNS, is known as ganglion, and the axon is known as tract when it present in the CNS, and also known as fiber when it present in the PNS. As we showed in the diagram that they are present in the PNS, so they are known as dorsal root ganglion. This neuron is known as dorsal root ganglion. Okay, DRG, dorsal root ganglion. That means they are present in the peripheral nervous system, so they are known as ganglion. Okay, if you see the structure of interneuron, what is interneuron is all about? This portion is interneuron portion. In the next diagram you can see it. If you see this diagram, there is a portion in the spinal cord is known as interneuron. If I draw it, it look like this. The blue portion is the interneuron portion. After interneuron, there is another motor neuron. Okay. That means this portion is interneuron portion. Actually, when the hands need to move, the upper portion of the hand need to be jerked or need to be excited, and the lower portion of the hand, that means this portion, let me change the color, this portion of the hand need to be relaxed. Please make it understand. The upper portion of the hand need to be excited and the lower portion of the hand need to be relaxed. That only the phenomena when the hand will move. Hand will not move when both the upper and the lower portion will be excited. Okay, that means when the hand will move, the upper portion of the hand need to be excited and the lower portion of the hand need to be relaxed. But how it will happen? It happen when interneuron take the decision. What will happen then? If this is the interneuron portion, the synaptic nerve, the presynaptic nerve secreted excited neurotransmitter and some are the relaxed neurotransmitter or inhibit neurotransmitter. Okay, that means the interneuron of the upper portion carry forward the excited neurotransmitter, whereas the interneuron in the lower portion carry forward the inhibit neurotransmitter, which tell the lower portion you need to be relaxed, otherwise the move will not move from the position, otherwise the hand will not move from the position. Okay, that means interneuron will decide what the hand need to do. The one of the portion is excited and another one of the portion is the relaxed portion. Okay, that means neurotransmitter, there are two types of neurotransmitter that I have already talked about in my previous video, that there are two types of neurotransmitter. One is excited neurotransmitter, another one is inhibit neurotransmitter. That means two type of neurotransmitter will transmit the information. One will told the upper portion of the hand you need to be excited and another portion or the lower portion of the hand need to be inhibit or need to be relaxed. Okay, only that condition the hand will move. Okay, there are two types of reflex action. One is conditional reflex action, another one is unconditional reflex action. If I told you about the unconditional reflex action, they have also have another name like inherited reflex action, inborn reflex action. So another name of unconditional reflex actions are inherited reflex action and inborn reflex action. Wow, what is about all that? These are in unconditional reflex action, they are inborn. They include the knee jerk, the salivation from the tasting of food. These are the part of unconditional reflex action. Like baby sucking of nipple, they don't know how to suck milk, but they are sucking the nipple. That means they already know that. These are the unconditional action. These are inborn action. Whereas it comes to the conditional reflex action, you need to learn it first. That means you need to acquire it first. These are acquired and it required some sort of learning after birth, like riding the bicycle. Okay, like riding the bicycle is a type of conditional reflexes. If you say that when you are riding a bicycle, we don't need to think that which pedal we need to move, because one time when we are learning it, we actually understanding, we already understand how to move, we already understand that. So when we are accustomed with that fact, we don't need to think it, but one time you need to learn it. So that is a part of conditional reflexes. This is all about the reflex action and reflex arc. Reflex arc means the pathway of reflex action is known as reflex arc. The pathway this pathway, the pathway of reflex action, this and this pathway, they are same pathway. The pathway of reflex action is known as reflex arc. Okay, that means reflex action is related to receptor, to the sensory nerve, interneuron, motor nerve and effector organ. This is all about the reflex arc and reflex action. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and comment it. Thank you.